Good morning. Welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting. We appreciate your attendance, and we thank you all for tuning in. And for introductions, on my left is Commissioner Deb Shore, and on my right is Vice Chair Commissioner Larry Hudkins and Commissioner Bill Avery. And I am Commissioner Roma Amundson, Chair of the Board. Will you join me now in saying the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and before we begin, I would first of all like to congratulate all of the college graduates and the high school graduates for their graduation and for their new diplomas, and wish them well on their future endeavors. And also for those people who are here and listening in, also would like to encourage safety on the roads for Memorial Day. And also, as a retired general, I would like to thank people for their past service in the military and say that the grateful nation appreciates their service as well as the sacrifices of their family. And so, Mr. Clerk, will you begin the agenda, please?
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approve the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, May 12, 2015.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve these minutes of the Board of Commissioners. Are there any additions or corrections? Please call the roll.
Avery?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Number 2 are claims. Approval of all claims processed through May 19th, 2015.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve these claims. Are there any corrections or is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Number 3 are special presentations, recognition of county employees' service anniversaries.
And Pam, I think you have some special people.
I do, and I'm gonna maybe put them on the spot just a little bit this morning, if you don't mind. And I'm trying to get out of my way so that the camera can see. Maybe I'll do this.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Now you guys are front and center, literally. So first I have Doug Lindolson and Tom. Tom Wickheiser. I couldn't say that fast. And Mark Cabillas. And they have all been with us for a significant amount of time in the county. And if you guys could just step up to the microphone maybe and briefly say what you do. And how many years you've been with the county?
I've been with the county 31 years. And I kind of work in the land surveying part of our office, legal description work and mapping and such. And this is a great opportunity for me to thank the county for a good job that I've enjoyed over the years. Because if my plans work out okay, I'll be retired in a couple years. So this will be my last go around with this. So I've had some good bosses, Pam being one of them, and Don Thomas and Larry Worrell and Ken Schroeder. And thank you very much. I appreciate everything.
Thanks.
Well, I tell you what, we really do appreciate your service for 31 years. That's great.
Also known as Tire Tom.
I've been with the county 10 years now, and I run the tire department alone. I'm the only one that works in the tire department. I take care of like the sheriffs and all the patrols and the trucks, dump trucks, and just anybody that needs a tire fixed or new tires put on. And it is inexpensive. Tires are really expensive, so it's a big part of the budget. And so it's pretty good job. I like it. And I take care of the yard work around the county shop too, so the main county shop on Cherry Creek Road. So, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Tom.
Well, Tom, we really do appreciate you keeping good rubber on the vehicles. And I've been there. I've seen some of those tires. Those are huge tires. How do you lift some of them up? You got to have.
I have a truck-mounted crane. It's electric, and that's the way I load the big ones. I can load the smaller ones, but I don't even try lifting. And I use that crane too to fix or put new ones on too. So it's does most of the work for me.
You know, I tell you what, every employee fills a very, very, very important cog. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Mark? Dare I be brave enough to invite you to the mic briefly?
Yes, and good morning to everyone. Been here for 35 years.
Wow.
And ever since I've started, I've done just a little bit of everything from when I first started building the bridges from the bottom up. From then went to asphalting the roads. Then once the opportunity came to get on the survey crew, as far as getting in on the GPS work, have done that. Lately, been answering phones, just a little bit of everything, whichever I can do to kind of help out my coworkers. So, but I've enjoyed being here. So, any questions?
No, I was just going to comment that the Lancaster County Engineers Office always has the longest-serving employees. And at the breakfast this morning, 2 were honored for 40 years. And I think that really speaks to the culture and the friendships that you all must have out there amongst each other.
There is a lot of friendship out there, and everybody's out there helping everybody else, and just getting our job done, having a good day. So, have enjoyed it.
That's called teamwork, right?
That's right.
That's called teamwork.
It is teamwork. You got to have that.
Well, thank you so much for your 35 years.
You betcha.
Thank you.
And I'll go ahead and
Okay,
read
Pam,
the
thank you
list
so much for bringing
of
them
the,
up.
of the service anniversaries. This is for 10 years. Darwin Anderson, Youth Services Center. Amanda Carnes, Records and Information Management. Amy Cook, Corrections. Lisa Cook, County Sheriff. Sarah DeCosta, Youth Services Center. William Fleischer, County Engineer. Kimberly Gurnett, County Attorney. Grant Hesser, County Engineer. Elgin Hunt, Veteran Services. Lyndon Lotion, County Engineer. David Muberry, County Sheriff. Nathan Riley, Youth Services. Ryan Schmucker, County Sheriff. Margaret Stinson, County Sheriff. Clifford Warren, Property Management. Rhonda Wick, County Sheriff. Tom Wickheiser, County Engineer. Michelle Wilkinson, County Treasurer. Jessica Yozel, Property Management. For 15 years, Chan Anderson, Corrections. Steve Bauer, Property Management. Jamie Cartwright, Corrections. Joshua Clark, County Sheriff. Jill Cook, County Assessor. Deanna Kovolt, County Extension. Timothy Epler, Public Defender. Troy Foster, County Engineer. Angela Franson, Public Defender. Christy Gottberg, Public Defender. Troy Henning, County Engineer. Kim Casper, Youth Services. Tammy Myers, Youth Services. Michael Montgomery, Crisis Center. Kevin Moormeyer, County Engineer. Sean Oglesby, Youth Services Center. John Osterhaus, County Sheriff. Jason Peterson, County Sheriff. Cynthia Pittman, County Assessor. Sarah Price, Crisis Center. Nicole Ringler, County Attorney. Karen Rowe, District Court. Dave Shively, Election Commissioner. Gwen Thorpe, Administrative Services. Sharon Walker, Clerk of the District Court. Nancy Weber, County Attorney. And Dale Wall, County Engineer. For 20 years, Sue Eckley, Risk Management. Anthony Free, Property Management. Rick Gray, Corrections. Judy Lewis Cairns, County Sheriff. John Novacek, Property Management. Robert Proffert, County Assessor. Simon Rezak, Clerk of the District Court. Annette Thompson, Youth Services Center. Tin Tran, Property Management. Tom Trotter, County Sheriff. Jane Vobro, Corrections. For 25 years, Webb Bancroft, Public Defender. Richard Deagle, Property Management. Carrie Egan, Administrative Services. Patricia Garcia, County Sheriff. Daniel Gibson, County Assessor. Emma Haig, County Treasurer. Eric Hubble, County Engineer. Lee Irons, Property Management. Greg Meyer, Corrections. Marion Peterson, District Court. Virginia Pry, Corrections. Lori Reed, Clerk of the District Court. Doyle Reinwald, Property Management. Steve Smith, Corrections. Lyman Taylor, County Assessor. Margene Tim, Public Defender. Jody Zimmerman, Corrections. For 30 years, we have Dee Adams, Property Management. Nancy England, County Attorney. Alan Galoon, Property Management. Robert Hayes, Public Defender. Douglas Lind Olson, County Engineer. Georgetta Shaw, County Treasurer. 35 years, Mark Abrellis, County Engineer. Dennis Keefe, Public Defender. Marvin Little, County Engineer. Ann Taylor, County Clerk. And there are 2 for 40-year. Chuck Ganuki, County Engineer. David Halla, County Engineer.
Well, my goodness, that's an impressive list of people who have really spent years in the service of the county, and we do appreciate very much their service. And this recognition breakfast that we had this morning is just a small gesture in recognition of them. Okay.
Next is,
Oh, I'm sorry, Bill.
Commissioner Avery.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that inadvertently, there was one person left off the list. Carrie Egan, Chief Administrative Officer for the county, 25 years.
Thank you.
I'm
And we
glad
had
you pointed that
Two of
out.
them in our
Yeah,
office,
we had
Gwen
2 of
Thorpe,
them.
15, and Carrie, 25, so.
Yeah,
And Carrie was at the breakfast, but we missed him somehow.
he didn't stand up.
Wow.
Why did you ask me to do this? He didn't, I'm sorry.
Well, our apologies for not recognizing you earlier.
He'll get the gift certificate, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's the main thing, right? Okay, let's continue on to new business.
new business number 4A is a recommendation from the Purchasing Department and Emergency Management to award a contract for an outdoor warning siren spec 15-109 to Schmader Electric Construction, Inc. Total cost of the purchase is $25,140.
Move approval?
Is there a second?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we contract for an outdoor warning siren. And is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. B is an agreement between Beatrice Lawn Care, Inc. and Lancaster County for the annual requirements of noxious weed control, including spraying and mowing. The county will pay for the services according to the pricing listed in the contractor's proposal. Term of the agreement is 1 year from the date of execution with an option to renew for 3 additional 1-year terms.
Okay, and let me just say right here that Brent Meyer is the weed control person for the county, and he had written us a letter explaining what the agreements were for the next few, well, it'd be B through F, and he explained that these are agreements, they're annual requirements for spraying. So I just wanted to point out that we did have an official talk to us about that. So do we have a motion and a second?
Not yet.
I'd move approval.
Second?
Is this a motion for all of those?
No, just for,
Take
I
them
just wanted
separately.
to, I just wanted
Okay.
to say it as we went down. Okay, so it's been moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with Beatrice Lawn Care in Lancaster County. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
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 Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. C is an agreement between Mr. Yards and More LLC in Lancaster County for the annual requirements of noxious weed control, including spraying and mowing. The county will pay for the services according to the pricing listed in the contractor's proposal. Term of the agreement is 1 year from the date of execution with an option to renew for 3 additional 1-year terms.
Approval.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve this with Mr. Yards and More in Lancaster County. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. D is an agreement between Gary's Lawn and Landscape and Lancaster County for the annual requirements of noxious weed control, including spraying and mowing. The county will pay for the services according to the pricing listed in the contractor's proposal. Term of the agreement is 1 year from the date of execution with an option to renew for 3 additional 1-year terms.
Move approval.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with Gary's Lawn and Landscape Service in Lancaster County. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. 4E is an agreement between D'Angelo Brothers and Lancaster County for the annual requirements of noxious weed control, including spraying and mowing. The county will pay for the services according to the pricing listed in the contractor's proposal. Term of the agreement is 1 year from the date of execution with an option to renew for 3 additional 1-year terms.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with D'Angelo Brothers in Lancaster County for noxious weed control. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. F is a contract between D'Angelo Brothers and Lancaster County for noxious weed control for the city of Lincoln landfills. The county will pay for products and services according to the line item pricing as listed in the contractor's proposal. Term of the agreement is 1 year from the date of execution by both parties.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this contract. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. G is a contract between Hartman Construction Company and Lancaster County in the amount of $561,832.28 for grading construction on South 54th Street from Hickman Road to Roca Road, project 15-11.
This is our contract for our annual grading project down on 54th Street by Hickman. It is in our budget. It was previously bid a few weeks ago, and we are, of course, recommending that you approve it today. This is the same grading contractor that has gotten this low bid for about the last 5 or 10 years, and so he's done a lot of successful work for us.
Move approval.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that we approve this contract with Hartman Construction Company. Any discussion? And please call the roll.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. H is a mini-grant contract application and award with the Nebraska Office of Highway Safety to provide funding for 4 members of the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office to attend the 2015 IACP DRE Conference in Cincinnati, Ohio on August 9th through the 12th, 2015. The total amount requested is $6,361.20.
Sheriff Wagner.
Good morning, Terry Wagner, Lancaster County Sheriff. I'd be glad to interpret those acronyms for you if you'd like.
Yes, please do.
The IACP is the International Association of Chiefs of Police. It's their annual conference, and DRE is Drug Recognition Expert. And we have 4 deputies in our office who are certified in that realm, and what they do is, unlike alcohol testing for drunk drivers, the DRE deputies evaluate for drug-impaired driving. So that's what their certification is for.
Cool.
Move approval.
Madam
Yes.
Chair, Sheriff, is attendance to this conference required for certification? Encouraged, maybe?
Encourage. It updates them on all the new legal status of the drug recognition expert, of drug impaired driving, all the new trends and networking with other DREs in other parts of the nation. It's really gotten to be a huge issue when I was in Colorado earlier this year about we haven't done a very good job of keeping up with evaluating, in Colorado's instance, marijuana impaired drivers. And since they have legalized it, they're playing catch up now, so trying to stay ahead of the ball game beforehand with the DREs.
And the language here is mini grant.
Yes, sir.
This comes from grant money?
It is. It's totally funded by the Nebraska Office of Highway Safety, and we pay for it. They reimburse us for that amount in its totality.
Okay, thank you.
And Sheriff, with the recent changes in the Colorado law, I know that's really affected a lot of the sheriff's offices close to the border. Is there an effect as far as clear on you?
It is. I mean, the importation. The diversion of marijuana from Colorado to other states, and then the cash flowing westward. So yeah, that's had an effect. I think one of the things that we learned, or I learned from being in Colorado at the conference, was we need to start collecting data specifically to marijuana now, and not wait till after something's passed. We generally just lump drug impaired drivers as drug impaired drivers and not segregate out the type of drug, whether it's an opiate or whatever the case might be. So we need to be specific with what drug it is, so that if that gets legalized, we can at least get a handle on that level of impairment.
But as I understand it, right now, what the legislature is considering is a pilot program to see the effectiveness on medical use of marijuana.
Correct.
In Nebraska.
Well, there's two bills. One that would allow medical marijuana. The other would study the effects and look at the reasonableness of it.
Okay. Have you gone over and testified on the bills?
I have not. Our association did, or I wrote a letter in opposition of one and supported the other. So I believe Senator Crawford's bill, that's the study you talked about, is very limited in scope. It's very limited in time, and it does the evaluation, where Senator Gare's bill is more all-inclusive. I think the only thing it doesn't allow is smoking.
Okay. Thank you, and we appreciate the update.
Thank you.
I believe we have a motion, but I do not recall that we have a second.
No
Mr. Hurd.
second yet.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. 4I is an agreement with Great Plains Appraisal Company on behalf of Wayne Kubert and Tom Kubert to provide the services of a referee coordinator to coordinate referees who will hear all property tax protests for the 2015 tax year before the Lancaster County Board of Equalization. The referee coordinator shall be reimbursed at a rate of $95 per hour with a total compensation not to exceed $180,000.
Move approval.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with Great Plains Appraisal Company. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. 4J is adoption of the 2015 Lancaster Board of Equalization Policies and Procedures Property Valuation Process.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we adopt the 2015 Lancaster BOE policies and procedures. Any
I think this
discussion?
would be a great time to note that additional information about the whole appeal process is available on the county clerk's website.
Very good, thank you. Yes.
And I just urge the people that as we get to the Board of Equalization, there will be public notices about it, and those that do not have ready access to a computer, they still can call in. And it's going to be very important this year with the number of protests. They will be held out at the Lancaster Event Center. Plenty of parking, plenty of access out there. And we want people to make their appointments early so they can get in when they want to, and then keep those appointments. And if they can't for any reason, they need to get to the clerk's office so that we don't waste those times. Everybody cooperates, we'll get through this.
Absolutely. Okay, please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. K is amendment to county contract C-14-217 between Campbell's Nurseries and Garden Centers, the City of Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the Lincoln-Lancaster County Public Building Commission for miscellaneous landscape installation and maintenance service. The amendment renews agreement for an additional one-year term beginning May 1st, 2015 through April 30th, 2016. The total amount for the county departments shall not exceed $5,000.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this amendment to the county contract. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. L is an amendment to county contract C-14-255 between Vulcan Aluminum, Lancaster County, and the City of Lincoln for the annual supply of traffic signs and sign faces. The amendment extends the agreement for an additional one-year term beginning May 20th, 2015 through May 19th, 2016, and reflects a price increase of 3%.
And Lancaster County Engineer, I just want to draw your attention to this contract. I've often referred to the sign shop as my $300,000 room. We have very aggressively inventoried all of our signs and actually pulled all signs in from the outlying shops and districts so that we can inventory them and get them back out. So you may notice as you look back at previous year's budgets, we historically ordered between $40,000 and $50,000 in signs. You may notice this contract is for a maximum of $27,000. And you also may notice as you look at your budget that I've presented to you currently that I've only asked for $5,000 in signs. So I just wanted to be sure to draw that to the taxpayers' attention and your attention that we are aggressively inventorying our stock of signs as a way to save the taxpayers' money.
And Larry?
Well, County Engineer Dingman, we really appreciate your diligence to this. I'm glad that you do have the sign shop, though. I think we've, by getting the raw stock aluminum and making our own signs, it's still cost effective, but we just want to tell everybody, be careful of these signs. They're a lot more expensive than you think they are. And if one does go down or gets pushed down and they notice that they need to call your office or our office or anybody to let people know that, because they're there for a reason and we want them up and we want them functional.
And find something else for target practice.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Avery and Commissioner Hudkins. I would also mention that if you do notice a sign is missing, we do have, if you call our office numbers after hours, you will be directed to whoever is on call so that we can get that sign replaced as soon as possible. The old way used to be a lot of people would call 911. It's not, we'd like to not burden the 911 system with those sort of calls. So again, if you call our office, you will be directed to someone who can replace that sign immediately, day or night.
Okay, do we have,
And move approval?
Second?
it's been moved and seconded that we approve this county contract? And any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
You know, and if I could just make a specific request here, I think we'll jump to public comment just really quickly. And Brittany, would you please come forward?
With a very brief comment and a first TV appearance.
And this is the first TV appearance. Yes, and we,
Everyone,
hello there.
say hi, County Board.
Oh my goodness, there's a
Well,
good picture.
You are being missed. Obviously, your shoes are being well filled
Absolutely.
temporarily, but
Absolutely.
your duties now are much more important.
Yes, thank you. Thanks. Well, it's good to see everybody.
See
And we'll
you
be
too.
back shortly.
And would you like to tell the public what the name is?
Yes, this is Lane Adeline.
Lane Adeline.
Yes.
And she is just doing really well, and
Awesome.
she's meeting all those,
Oh, yes.
okay?
Yep, she eats and sleeps like a champ, so we're
Okay.
good.
She's all girl. She's
Yeah.
all pink.
Oh, that's right. Somebody said that girl in her poor headbands, and I said, oh, she's fine. She likes them.
Darling.
Yeah, so good to see you
Is
guys.
she going to be an attorney someday too?
She's practicing today.
Practicing already? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm jealous because she already has more hair than I do. So.
Have lots of hair. Yep. So good to see you guys.
Thank you. Well, thanks for coming up. Okay, and now let's go back to L. I think it is, yeah.
4M is an
4M.
amendment to county contract C-11-301 with Paragon Services for the printing and mailing of DMV and real estate statements for the county treasurer. The amendment extends the agreement for an additional 4-year term beginning June 7, 2015 through June 6, 2019.
Move approval?
Second?
Moved and seconded that we approve this amendment to the county contract. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. N is an amendment to county contract C-12-249 between Voss Electric Company doing business as Voss Lighting, Lancaster County, the City of Lincoln, and the Lincoln-Lancaster County Public Building Commission for the annual requirements of light bulbs and ballasts. The amendment extends the agreement for an additional 1-year term beginning May 1st, 2015 through April 30th, 2016.
Move approval? Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this contract, this amendment to the county contract. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. O is an amendment to county contract C-14-31 between Lancaster County and the Lincoln Children's Museum, extending the term of the grant contract from May 31st, 2015 to December 31st, 2015. All other terms and conditions of the contract will remain the same.
Move approval?
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this amendment to the county contract. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Number 5 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business and on the agenda may do so at this time.
Okay, do we have anyone who would like to speak? And seeing none, let's move on.
Next are announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, May 21st, 2015 at 8:30 a.m. in the Bill Luxford Studio at the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold their next regular meeting on Tuesday, May 26th, 2015 at 10:30 a.m. in Room 112 at the County City Building with the Board of Equalization immediately following. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live. It is rebroadcast on Tuesday and Saturday on 5 City TV, cable channel 5. In addition, the meeting may be viewed on the internet at lancaster.ne.gov under 5 City TV, video on demand, or 5 City TV on YouTube.
Move adjournment?
Second?
Moved and seconded that we adjourn. Please call the roll.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Avery? Amundson?
Okay, the meeting of the Board of Commissioners is adjourned, and we'll now open the Lancaster County Board of Equalization.
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Also in attendance this morning is Scott Gaines from the County Assessor's Office. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of minutes at the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, May 12, 2015.
Move approval?
Second.
It's moved and seconded that we approve the minutes of the last meeting. Any corrections or additions? Please call the roll.
Avery?
Yes.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Number 2 are additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval of the additions and deductions?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudkins?
Yes.
Shore?
Yes.
Avery?
Yes.
Amundson?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Number 3 is a public hearing regarding motor vehicle tax exemption applications. These are for Bryan Medical Center, Cathedral of the Risen Christ, Catholic Social Services, Corporation of Presiding Bishop of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, First Baptist Church of Lincoln, Food Bank of Lincoln, Inc., School Sisters of Christ the King, Second Baptist Church, St. Teresa Church.
Okay, we will now open this public hearing. Is there anyone who is speaking in support of these motor vehicle tax exemption applications? Anyone in opposition? Anyone in a neutral position? And seeing none, I'll close the public hearing, and let's proceed to the vote.
Move approval of the motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that we approve these motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Shore, Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
The meeting is adjourned.